How do you define righteousness? What does mercy look like, and who deserves it? This Sunday, we're exploring the tension between righteousness and mercy through the story of Zacchaeus in the Gospel of Luke. Zacchaeus' name in Hebrew means pure or innocent, but many of the people who knew him at the time believed that he didn't live up to his name. Zacchaeus was a tax collector, which was bad enough. But he was a chief tax collector, which is even worse. And worst of all, he was exceedingly rich, which implied that he enriched himself off of the goods he took from other people. People saw him as a sinner, a man who took from his own people to serve Rome. But Luke's gospel offers a different perspective on tax collectors. In Luke 18, Jesus tells a parable where a humble tax collector is more justified than a self-righteous Pharisee. Yet, as a wealthy man, Zacchaeus also fit the mold of others in Luke's gospel who struggled with riches, like the rich ruler who couldn't part with his possessions. Despite his reputation, Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus. He was curious, maybe even hopeful, but being shorter than average, with no one willing to make room for him, he climbed a tree to get a better view. What he didn't expect was that as he searched for Jesus, Jesus was searching for him. Jesus stopped, called him down, and invited himself over for dinner. This was no small gesture. Where Jesus chose to stay brought honor to his host, and he chose Zacchaeus. The crowd was not happy about this. They were outraged. Surely Jesus could have picked someone more worthy. Hearing their grumbling, though, Zacchaeus declared that he gives, or will give, half of his possessions to the poor and would repay anyone he has wronged several times over, according to the law in the Torah. But here's something interesting about this particular verse. In the original Greek, Zacchaeus is speaking in the present tense, as if this is already his practice and the way that he is living. Several English translations shift that to the future tense, making it seem like he is making a promise to change. Which one's correct? Is Zacchaeus actually righteous and ethical in his business practices? Is he misunderstood by his community? Or is he a sinner now choosing a different path? Either way, it is Jesus' act of friendship that sparks transformation and reconciliation. So what does this story teach us about righteousness and mercy? Some of us lean toward righteousness, striving for what is pure and right. Others tend to emphasize mercy, extending compassion regardless of one's past. And many of us get stuck arguing over who is truly righteous and who deserves mercy. But Jesus takes a different approach. Instead of condemning Zacchaeus or debating his worth, Jesus makes a connection. And that's where transformation happens. How can we bridge divides between righteousness and mercy? How does Jesus guide us in this tension? Perhaps righteousness isn't about individual perfection, but about being in right relationship with others. And perhaps mercy should always surprise us, challenge us, and push us beyond our comfort zones. Join us this Sunday as we explore these questions together in worship. I look forward to seeing you then.